Look at your heroes, guys. These are your heroes. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this. And then this lady is pretending that the IV pole is like, you know what? I'm done. Nurses weren't fired over that. Mom is dying from COVID-19 and we can't visit her. And then you see videos of staff dancing. I can't think of a more non-patient, non-family centered care situation. It would have been a slap in the face for me to walk out of my room where we just intubated and start dancing like this. No. Bienvenidos, mi gente. This is the Nice Veins Bro podcast, the #1 podcast for nurses who want to live that next level life. I am Nene Pablo, host of this podcast, registered nurse, and creator of Nice Veins Bro. Did you know that hospital units, many of them, actually omit room number 13 on their floor? Some buildings also here in the United States, I don't know how many or what percentage, but many buildings, when they build skyscrapers, will omit room number 13. I don't know. I guess it's superstition. They think it's bad luck or something, but we don't believe that crap here. So this is episode number 13, people, and it's going to be a good one. I'm actually a little bit nervous because I feel like I'm going to hurt people's feelings. But nonetheless, we will continue. Please do not take any offense. I'm about a month late on this news that I'm about to share, but listen to this headline from NBC. It says, nurses at Atlanta hospital are under fire over TikTok video mocking maternity patients. What? Okay, here's the New York Post. It says, the nurses fired for mocking patients on TikTok exemplify our culture of narcissism. Narcissism. That's a strong word. What? Are you talking about nurses? You talking about nurses are narcissists? We're going to get into exactly what happened plus more. Why is this happening? Social media posts associated with staff and then they get fired. This is not the first time. And should nurses be influencers? That's the real question. Is it okay to have some fun on camera at work? Should nurses be able to make content about work, about nursing in general? There's many pages with hundreds of thousands of followers that are with someone who's a healthcare person, and they have a big following. Should nurses be able to do that kind of thing? How much is too much information? We all know about HIPAA, but where does that line cross? Are we just not to say anything on social media about work? Don't go anywhere. That's exactly what we're going to cover in today's episode.
Let go. No.
Hola, mi gente. Everybody has a crazy nursing story to tell. If you want to share yours with the world, send it to me. I'll feature it here on the podcast and you can get my take on it. You can also ask me questions. Love questions. Remember, HIPAA rules do apply when you're telling your story, of course, and I will make sure you remain anonymous. I don't know what you're waiting for. Send me a message, niceveinsbro.com/podcast. That's again, niceveinsbro.com/podcast. Looking forward to it. Hashtag the ick challenge. I don't know if anyone has heard about that or knows what that is, but that was what caused this whole issue. It's basically, it was a trend. I don't know if it's still a trend. I don't necessarily follow exactly what's going on TikTok, unfortunately. But, well, I don't know. Maybe it is a fortunate thing. but anyway, it was a trend that was apparently going through on TikTok about where you go on and you reveal something that is like a turnoff about blank, about whatever. Oh man, ick. This is my ick. My ick is when blankety blank blank blank. I think originally it started with, like calling out those things that turn you off about the opposite sex whenever you're like dating or something like that. And so, but then it started like getting into other things, not just dating or whatever. Apparently, a group of nurses decided to get on camera and film their version of the ick challenge. So I'm going to play this clip and y'all tell me what you think.
My ick is when you come in for your induction talking about, can I take a shower and eat? What? My ick is when you ask me how much the baby weighs, and it's still in your hands. Dad comes outside and asks for a paternity test right outside the room door.
Saying you don't want any pain medicine, no epidural, but you are at an 8 out of 10 pain with just a Cervidil, and you're still closed, fingertip.
When we've already told you to push the call light, but every 5 minutes, your family member coming at the front desk asking for something else. Excuse me, can I have a blanket? Another ick, when you're going room to room between one baby mama and your other baby mama.
Oh, no.
Ick. Say that. It's the unlimited trips to the nurse's station for me.
Wow, look at that. And then it ends with a rolling of the eye. Well, in the words of Matt Walsh, whenever he saw this, they don't have to deal with the icks anymore because they were fired. And then Emory Healthcare comes out with a statement, I don't know how much time later, saying a statement to our community. Emory Healthcare is committed to providing empathetic, high-quality care to our community, and our patients come first. We are aware of the TikTok video that included disrespect. You know, when hospitals need to make a statement about TikTok videos, you know it's bad, okay? We are aware of a TikTok video that included disrespectful and unprofessional comments about maternity patients at Emory University Hospital Midtown. We have investigated the situation and taken appropriate actions with the former employees responsible for the video. The video does not represent our commitment to patient and family-centered care and falls far short of the values and standards we expect every member of our team to hold and demonstrate. At no time should our patients ever feel they are not being treated with care and respect. Every patient at Emory Healthcare deserves to be cared for by a compassionate, experienced team in a comfortable and safe environment. Did the hospital do the right thing? That's the question of the hour. Comment below what you think. Do you think that the nurses were out of line? Do you think that the hospital is being sincere with their commenting? And do you think that they did the right thing? Comment below. Let me know what you think. The first thing I'll say is this. If you think these nurses are evil for what they said, I'm not sure exactly what to tell you, because the majority of nurses that I have worked with have said similar, if not worse, things. And I think that if you're being sincere to yourself and you're listening to this, you're a nurse, you know you've heard much worse things on the unit. So if you think that these nurses are evil or they're completely not empathetic, they shouldn't be nurses, they're horrible people. These, I'm sure, are very, very real annoyances to these people who are meant to. Honestly, do you think we're perfect? If you're going to come out here and, chop these people up for what they said and that, do you think we're perfect? Do you have a standard? Should we not have these feelings? Because sometimes I can tell you right now that there are times where there are irritations that come up. You're dealing with people, and when you deal with people, a lot of times in the lowest moments of their life, things can get under your skin. Okay, so if you think that it's not annoying, some of these things that they're mentioning, that's probably a very, very accurate experience that they have on a daily basis. Okay, what they expressed in that video. So what's the problem? Why did they get fired? Here's the problem. You are on the clock. You are in uniform. You have your badge on. You are getting paid while at work, and you decide to pull out your phone. Oh my goodness. You decide to pull out your phone and go on social media for the whole world to see. You have this frustration with a specific population, the community that the hospital that you work for serves. You have a specific issue with some of the people in that community, and you're being public about it, and you're while at work. You're not bringing any value to the table. This is basically, it's shady to a bunch of the people that we care for the mere entertainment of random people online, for you to get a dopamine hit with people to like your page and for your thing to go viral. I can't think of another industry where you would not get fired for talking like that about the people who you're trying to sell to or the clients that you're working with. I mean, if you have your own business, like let's say if I hired someone for a Nice Veins Bro or for either the podcast or someone to help me with t-shirts or something like that, and I heard that person online talking about how annoying our customers are, I would fire them too. Okay? So I think that the hospital did the right thing here. I honestly do. I'm not going to go, as far as saying that these people should not be nurses, that, oh my gosh, look how evil nurses are. Look what they say about their, pay. Look what kind of attitude these nurses. I'm actually pretty sure that these nurses have done amazing things in their career, okay? I'm not going to assume anything about them and their individual status as they are in the nursing world. But I can say that it is a stupid decision for you to pick up your phone while on the clock, while wearing the hospital uniform, while, having the badge, while on the unit, okay, with coworkers, filming yourself talking about how annoying the patients are. That's just not the hospital absolutely did the right thing. That's my opinion. The nurses aren't necessarily terrible nurses. I can't say that about them. I don't know them. They made a stupid decision. The hospital fired them. That's as far as it goes. However, I have something to say about the hospital as well. Okay? Because they're not the hero in this story. We'll talk about that here in a second. It wasn't for the right reasons. It wasn't because, quote unquote, patients and their families come first. We are so virtuous. It's about reputation. Okay, let's get it straight. All right? It's about the reputation. Say it. Just say it. It's about the reputation. You are a business. You want people to trust you. It's fine. Okay? It just always irks me when hospitals have these statements and they act all virtuous about how they are so trustworthy. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how else they're going to say it, but it just, for some reason, it bothers me. It bothers me because when you look at some of the historical problems within hospitals, there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of crap going on, and they come out and try to be these heroic, virtuous people, with statements and all this stuff to try to regain trust from them. I don't know. It's annoying. I'm just going to say it. It's annoying. It's not about patients and their family. If it was about patients, we'd have safe staffing. What do they say? Let me go back. It says, every patient at Emory Health deserves to be cared by a compassionate and safe environment. Every patient, safe environment. Okay, yeah. Tell that to the nursing ratio. Tell that to yourself when you depend so much on, big pharma. And I don't know. That's what bothers me. If it really was about the patient, the way that you run your entire hospital would be different. Don't come out here acting like you're the nice guy with the big heart. Hospitals are shady. And so every time they come out with one of these things, we do this for the patients, blah, blah, blah. It's always, it's not patient-centered, okay? At the end of the day, hospitals are looking to cover their butt. Hospitals are looking out to make sure that their reputation is intact. They'll do anything. Even at the expense of the patient in order to keep a good name. I'll give you an example. COVID-19 dance-offs. Hospitals were celebrating groups of medical staff getting together on the clock, okay, with their phones out, doing these stupid dances they're just de-stressing. It's so hard on. That's a bunch of no. Have you seen these COVID dance-off videos? Sure as flip wasn't patient-centered. All we did was embarrass ourselves, and hospitals, Oh, yeah. Why? Because society was, okay with it. As long as society is okay with it, then the hospital's okay with it. Look at our friendly healthcare worker. Look at our heroes. It's one thing to, dance for your little, pediatric cancer patient and make them smile and, dance in front of them and sing a song with them. Oh, that's a cute video. But when you have a whole mob of nurses, especially in a worldwide pandemic, doing a choreography, organized, choreographed dances, in a hallway of a hospital, that's not patient-centered. And the hospitals didn't put out a statement saying, we have put an end to these dances because it is not patient. No, they celebrate. One group of nurses made it up to Good Morning America. The hospital didn't stop them there. Why? Because everyone was giving them the applause. It's all about the reputation. It's all fake. They don't stand for nothing. Give me a break. Patience. Look at this clip. Let me show you this clip I made. Okay, and I had to put circus music behind it. I'm sorry, I had to, because it's exactly what it was. We looked like a bunch of circus people. I'm gonna try to describe what's going on the screen, but you've got to go on YouTube and watch the video. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to try to describe what's going on here. Ridiculous. I want you to look at this clip and tell me what you see. Okay, roll the clip. Not all heroes wear capes. Some just wear scrubs. Heroes work. A bunch of signs of heroes work here. Look at that. Heroes in action. Our superheroes in action. Look at them. Look at them go. My God. I'm sorry. I have to stop it. I'm already getting so cringed watching my own video. Here is an image of a group of nurses all crowded on a thousands and thousands of dollars. It looks like a bed to me. Thousands and thousands of hospital beds are not cheap. And then a guy pushing them and they're, pretending they're just going down the hall, pretending that they're in a ship. Woo. I thought that we didn't have beds. We were overflowing. And then we question why people don't trust us. And we're putting videos out like this. It's a clown. It's a show. It's a circus. They're not even good dancers. Look at that. It's terrible. Look, they tried to get away with it by saying lunchtime, social distance. It's an enclosed place, no masks. Oh. Middle-aged women dancing in the hallways. It's so cringy. Look, stay home for us. Stay home for us while we're out here. Look at these beds in the back. Do you see the beds? Oh, this I gotta show you. I gotta show you this. Wait. You see how the guy, I feel bad for these guys. Look at that. Look at that. Poor guy. Look, the men are just like, just let me work. All these women dancing. I'm not trying to be sexist. Okay. It's just funny. It's funny. Look at these beds. Overflowing, we don't have any beds. Empty beds right here. What are we doing? Lord have mercy. Look at your heroes, guys. These are your heroes. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't know what these are. They're probably not nurses, honestly, but anyone in healthcare, really. Look at this. Yeah, that doesn't look like America. This is probably... COVID got us like... Get to work. COVID-19 got us like dancing. Oh my gosh. Oh, no. No, not EMS. I like EMS. It's a rave. Nothing to do but dance. Not nursing work. Not take care of patients. Nothing to do but dance. And they're probably off the clock, but still, I mean, the optics. Look at these people dancing here. Look, it's a hallway full of people. Look at that. Management, zoom in on management. Everyone's dancing. Look at that. It's a whole hallway full of people dancing. Look at that. And it's choreographed. This takes practice. You think that... Oh, my gosh. I cannot imagine. Look, we're involving the x-ray techs now. Look, thousands and thousands of dollars for that machine, and we're just, writing it down the hall. Look at this. This is apparently it's a group of nurses carrying what seems to be a person in a paper bag that says COVID-19, carrying it and dancing. This is probably got to be the worst one. People walking out of their rooms with PPE. There's a PPE shortage, and look at this. They're acting like they have big butts with stuff stuffed in their scrubs. And then this lady is like pretending that the IV pole is like, you know what? I'm done. Nurses weren't fired over that. No, they weren't. And the staff is dancing. I want you to imagine that picture. Okay? Hospitals are being it's overflowing. Flatten the curve, all this stuff, okay? Got patients in the rooms. Mom is dying from COVID-19 and we can't visit her, okay? Because there's these policies at hospitals that prevent, families from visiting, all this stuff. And then you see videos of staff dancing. Can you imagine how infuriating that is to people? I can't think of a more non-patient, non-family-centered care situation. And hospitals didn't put out a statement apologizing for dancing No, they celebrated. They celebrated the nurses because it was de-stressing. All these nurses working hard. I don't know what hospital these people were working at, because my hospital, there wasn't a moment that I could have broken off into a dance with the whole unit. Can you imagine the charge nurse at huddle? Guys, we're going to make a video. I don't know. I didn't experience it. Maybe it's because I was PRN during the pandemic. But I mean, I took care of some sick people, and it would have been a slap in the face for me to walk out of my room where we just intubated and start dancing like this. Nah, dude. De-stressing. No, that's not how you do it. Don't do it. Social media, get on social media like that. It's really, hospitals stay quiet in situations like, it's real sticky and weird in healthcare. It's a service industry run by people who want to make a buck and have a glorified reputation. That's what hospitals are. And so the best situation here, because a lot of times you get blindsided by the hospital. You can't wait for the hospital to make decisions. You've got to take control of yourself. The best decision here is don't make videos for social media while at work. Okay? That's the best solution. Leave that stuff away from the bedside. If you are clocking in and you are walking in with your badge and your scrubs and you're going to work, do the work. Work. There are very few and far between areas where I'd say it's probably, acceptable for you to have a following because it has to do with your work. Like, for example, if you're a Botox injector or something like that, and you want to promote your business and you're taking care of patients and, you want to see before and afters, that's a separate thing. I'm talking about what, when you are at a hospital setting or any other, maybe a clinic or something, separate the two as much as you can. The rule of thumb is don't make videos for social media while you are at work. If you're wanting to have a social media based on the work that you do as a nurse, if you're working at a hospital or if you're working at a clinic or something, there's people out there who have jobs in these areas and they still have a large following and all this stuff. And I want to talk about those things. I want to talk about when I think it is okay, because there are a certain set of rules that I think we should, pay attention to. And so, my opinion, you can take it or leave it, but I tell you one thing. If you decide to make a stupid mistake like these lovely ladies at Emory Hospital, expect to be fired. We'll be right back. Hey, I just want to thank you for listening. It means the world to me, especially because at the time of this recording, I'm still only a couple months from starting this whole thing. So if you're interested in helping me build this brand even more, please share this podcast on your social media and grab some merch from the website at niceveinsbro.com. Got some great stuff there for sale. Send me a DM on Instagram and share some encouragement, some love, and some hate. I will welcome that too. But don't be shy. Talk to you soon. Nurse influencer. Somebody's like, oh, aren't you a nurse influencer? Isn't that what you're doing? Aren't you doing exactly what people... No, there are certain guidelines, okay? First of all, I don't even really like the term, nurse influencer. That's really cringy. But when there's nothing wrong with doing videos and informational content, even entertainment, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing stuff like that. But there's a certain set of principles you've got to have to be able to distinguish my work as a nurse. How am I going to treat my patients? How am I going to treat my coworkers? How am I going to represent my company? Okay, yes, we have a personal life. It's fine to enjoy our life and talk about work and maybe even talk about some of the frustrations that we have. But here are what I would say the pillars of making a distinction. Okay, first, we absolutely have to follow HIPAA. That's the obvious duh, right? We have to follow HIPAA because you're going to jail if you don't. You have to obviously omit the patient's name and anything that is related to possibly identifying the patient. So obviously following the law. But let's build on that. We have to accept the risk. If we're going to take the liberty to talk about our work, the things that we do, the amazing things that we do with our profession to other people, and especially on social media, we have to understand that we take a risk, okay? We take a risk. Even when you're not talking about that patient specifically or identifying that patient, we're taking a risk. So we have to be very careful with the words that we use, what we're representing, the company that we're representing, the company that we're working for. We have to accept the liability there. I would say do not post anything. Don't say anything about your specific job. I would say be more general about nursing. You can make informative, educational, even entertainment, funny videos and stuff about nursing, but as a general thing. And I would keep it positive. I would keep bringing value and positivity and truth and insight, and make sure that you're humble about it, and make sure that you're being empathetic with the words that you use. Make sure that you are being respectful. Okay? Post general things about your specialty, about the nursing profession in general. Make videos from home, not from the workplace. If you have strong opinions about some critical issues, make sure that you're putting opinions are my own and not that of my employer, etc., that kind of stuff. Make sure you put disclaimers. Make sure you're very professional about separating and putting a line between what you do as a personal brand and what you do for who you work for. Make sure that there's a very, very solid line, because if you ever get into a liability issue or if you ever get into a problem, you can say, look, I put a line right here. Make sure that you're following your specific employer's guidelines too, because a lot of times they have very specific ones for their people, and it may differ from company to company. So make sure that you're knowing what they say is a no-no, and then also for yourself, put a very strong, thick black line between what you do for your own personal stuff and what you do for work, and don't mix the two. Constantly check yourself. Am I bringing value to the profession? Am I bringing positivity, or am I just doing this for dopamine, like a dopamine rush for people to share it? Am I just creating some sort of controversy so that I can get more clout online? Like that, check yourself, bro. Check yourself. When I say things like be a positive force within healthcare and society to close every episode, I really mean that. Be positive about, shed a positive light in everything that you do. Walk with positivity, with truth, with honesty, with insight, something to build others up. We have this culture online, especially with the nursing memes pages on Instagram, which are hilarious many times. But there's also a part of it that crosses the line. I would encourage you, don't follow pages that you feel like are crossing the line that you set for yourself. Like if they're going too much in dark humor and complaining about the profession and talking negative about the profession, it makes your own mind and your own view of nursing toxic. And so then all the negativity that you consume online from these pages, you then it's outflowing to where whenever you start posting, and then all the stuff that you start talking about with the profession is negative. Make sure you vet the sources where you are drinking from. Like, make sure that those sources are healthy, positive, light on the beautiful profession of nursing, so that whenever you start talking about your own work, you don't have these toxic influences in your sources of information. These ladies who were working at the hospital that got fired. Again, I don't want to say that they are bad nurses, because I don't believe that. I truly believe that they probably have great experience. They have done some amazing stuff in their profession. They're very skilled nurses. They're very empathetic even, and they just decided to make a very stupid decision. They probably, we joke about it so much. It was like second nature to say it on social media. And if you're that person and you made a mistake, own up to it and say, that was something that I was out of line, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to choose to, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for those bad comments that you've made in public or to your friends and stuff, and find healthier ways to cope. I don't want to get to the point where we're loathing ourselves for having these frustrations that are every day. Like, there are going to be frustrations at work. There are going to be patients that are going to be bugging us on the call light 24/7. There's going to be patients' families who are very punitive to our skill and our knowledge on stuff. Like, we're going to face people who are rude at the bedside, racist at the bedside, sexist at the bedside. We're going to face a lot of these people, okay? And it's not bad to feel irritated at those things. What matters is how you respond to it. We're all human. So I would just say that, that is how we bring respect to the profession. That's how we bring maturity to the profession, where we respond in maturity to those frustrations, because we want to bring respect. Not only is it the right thing to do, but we want to bring respect, and we want to represent nursing well. I made a series on what it takes to be a real nurse recently, how to live up to the calling of nursing. And so if you'd like to listen to that, I'll put the link on the description on YouTube and also in the show notes for the podcast if you're listening on a podcast platform. But that's it. That's it for this episode. If you'd like to help me build this brand, if you believe in the topics that we're discussing, and if you share some of those values, if you enjoy this podcast, share it with a friend. If you find it useful, share it with a friend that you feel like would enjoy it as well on social media. And remember to rate us on podcast platforms, because it really helps boost us up in the algorithm. So remember, I'm going to say it again. Here it goes. Remember to be a positive force within healthcare and society. Thank you for joining me. Que Dios me los bendiga. When I would listen to podcasts before I became a podcaster myself, I didn't realize how much leaving a 5-star review helped. And so now on this side, I just want you to know that it really does mean a whole lot when people review and share the content. So if you enjoyed it, please share it with somebody and leave a 5-star review on whichever platform you use, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And if you're interested, you can also find us on social media at Nice Veins Bro, or shop online at niceveinsbro.com. My personal stuff you can find under Nene Pablo, which is spelled NENEPABLO. I spend most of my time on YouTube making vlogs and videos, and on Instagram. So I would love to connect with you. And remember, be a positive force and influence within healthcare and society. It's all about God, wellness, and purpose here. Thank you for listening.